All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out my show, The Rich CELENZA Show, Mastering Self-Confidence. I changed the name, and I'm back to kind of doing these little 10, 15-minute rants. I've also been doing some shows with my co-host, Robert Beninati, out of 365 Realtor. That's been really cool at his office. We kind of tackle different subject matters. It's really just content driven regarding things that we've been through or talking about. But what I want to get into today is just me talking about starting off with kindness, because I think something that I've realized lately is, for some reason or another, maybe it's just because of the way things are going from maybe a political type environment, is a lot of people, I think, have lost being kind to one another. Now, when I say that, I don't mean to be a pushover or someone I'm asking you to be taken advantage of, fucked around, none of that nonsense. But when it comes to, I see online or even personally amongst my friends, family members, whatever the case may be, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of family members on both sides politically, okay? I can't say a lot, but I actually do, especially friends, let's say that, because I was in the film industry, so I have the West Coast, and then I have a lot of family members in Chicago, and I have a lot of friends, whatever, and Florida. So it's kind of messy, let's put it that way, especially if you went to my social media pages, and I don't unfriend anybody, I don't block anybody either, I don't get into that shit, and I see a lot of negativity on both sides. And, you know, I get people's views. I've never been involved with politics, so when I look at things, I look at it totally. I know they say there's independence. I guess I'm none of that. I'm not even in that realm. I'm just somebody who wants to look at it from the perspective of being kind of having nothing to do with it. I almost look at it, I have my own opinions, but none of it really, I mean, sometimes I may get aggravated regarding certain people talking shit about other people without knowing the facts. That's what more or less pisses me off. But after all is said and done, I still want to treat my family members, friends, colleagues, regardless, again, political, religion, whatever, with kindness. My life is now not built around taking sides. I am not at war with anybody that knows me, that I truly love or like or has a friendship with. I may have definitely disagreements with them, but I could assure you, most people that I am close with, if I'm in a bar, or if I'm in a restaurant and I ended up having a jam, I am going to go back to back. I am there to help them. I think a lot of us I can't say a lot of us, I do. I think a lot of people have gotten to the point where they have forgotten to be kind to one another, or don't give the respect that they deserve, again, regardless of what their opinions are. Or I think a lot of people want to almost set up, almost like baiting people to argue with them or to fight with them. It could be verbally, it could be even physically. It could be online to bash somebody. What are you fucking doing? Now, if that's your thing, right, personally, if you're out to hurt others, I can't believe that I would be friends with somebody who really would want to do that. But what's interesting is I do see people kind of doing that I'm friends with, but I know genuinely they're a great person. So I do a lot of times, I will admit, give them a pass, at least, and they don't have to be friends with me. Believe me, I'm not saying like I'm some almighty friend here. But I think when I speak for a lot of people is we've got to have some patience for a lot of people, because I think we get very emotional. It's almost like a relationship. A lot of relationships, even in your own relationships, obviously, if you're married, have a boyfriend, girlfriend, your kids, or everything, we're all going to have good days and bad days. We're going to have good days, good months, bad months. I talk about them all the time, even good years and bad years. As you know, you may have had issues with people. You don't talk to each other for long periods of time, and then all of a sudden you see each other and you're best buds again. I don't care if it's, that goes with family, that goes with parents, your own kids, your siblings, whatever the case may be. Don't let this shit bog you down. I'm telling you, go back to kindness. At the end of the day, all we really have is each other. I know that sounds weird. I'm talking like I'm in Fast and Furious here, especially with family. And I used to say this all the time because I've had some daughters that have some illnesses. And I used to say, when you're in the hospital, see who comes and visits you or your kids, right? And that doesn't mean the ones that don't visit you don't love you. But you sit in a hospital room for months on end, like I have before with my daughters, you'll get a sense on who is there for you and who isn't. Now, that doesn't, again, mean they have to be there, but phone calls, email, texts. I remember even when I was in Chicago, I had to stop my family members and friends from coming so often, which I was so taken back because I thought, they'll come by once in a while, and I wasn't judging them. I didn't care. I was more interested in my daughter. But it was very interesting when you start to see how much your family members and friends and everyone loves you and shows compassion. Again, the kindness. That's what I think life is about. I remember my oldest and closest friend, Jimmy. He came with me to do Christmas with me. And that's a big deal with Italians in Chicago. He came, I'll never forget this Christmas. He came Christmas. And I think my mother came to watch my daughter. And me and my ex-wife, we went, I think, to a Mexican restaurant, pretty sure, down the road, Lincoln Park. We were staying at Children's Memorial, and we all went and we were laughing our ass off because I'll tell you, I just needed a break. Going through everything, it was just fun to laugh because the last couple months was, I can't say the last couple months, the last year was daunting. And I remember, he told me after that, what was interesting, I was so happy he came. He says, this is some years later. He goes, when I'd leave the hospital, I'd cry. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, I was so brokenhearted for you and your daughter and your ex-wife. I was like, oh my God. But my point being is, if you go to the stem of your relationships with a lot of people, it all usually started off with kindness. You built relationships because you genuinely liked each other. You wanted to help each other. You just enjoyed each other's company. And, when we lose that, what do we have left? So I just thought I would do, I've been doing quick podcasts. I've been shortening them. I don't want to do half an hour, 45-minute interviews. I just want to do some shorties for a while on subject matters that I've been thinking about for the last X amount of months. But please, like I said, and take the high road. A lot of times, again, I'm not telling you to be a pushover or whatever the case may be. A lot of times people are going to say stuff to you personally or online, I think, that they don't necessarily mean always or was meant to hurt you. I think a lot of people just lash out. Or you don't even, and here's the thing. I'm going to wrap it up really with this. I look at everybody as somebody who's, and you may have heard this before too, no matter who they are, my friends, family members, colleagues, ones I'm close to, they usually have parents that love them. They usually have kids that love them. They may have siblings that love them. And, others that love them as well. I don't ever want them to be hurt. And of course, we're all going to get hurt. But I look at myself as wanting to protect them and be genuine. That doesn't, again, mean I'm not going to have a beef with them. But when all is said and done, I value them as a human being. And I truly want the best for them. Even if, say, and I've had friends beef with me, I've gotten in fist fights with friends, I've been casted out, I've had been ghosted. I think anyone for the I think most people in the world have been. And I've had those people kind of come back in my life after them maybe doing things that I didn't approve, and then maybe I've done something that they didn't approve. But at the end of the day, man, I'm there for them. They know that. And if you sometimes have to acknowledge that, what's that other person sometimes going through in their life we don't know, or what they've gone through in their past, all these things that we may not know about. So have some patience and some consideration for others from top to bottom. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. You get a chance, you might want to check out my YouTube channel. Just my name, Rich CELENZA. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I keep forgetting this too. I got a program, Mastering Self-Confidence. I try to help men master their confidence. If you're interested, check it out. If not, I get it. Who gives a fuck, right? Life goes on for all of us, but I do forget to talk about that. So I'm kind of in a catch-22. I'm not here to talk about this and then pitch my program. Then I'm definitely not trying to do. But then at other times, I'm like, a lot of people will ask me, hey, Rich, what's going on? What else you doing? That's what I'm doing. So You could find all this out on richcelenza.com. But regardless, if you ever want to reach out to me, leave a comment, send me a message, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I'm out there. So take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.